Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly in your favorite chair, maybe with a cup of tea in hand, and suddenly, without warning, you feel overwhelmed? Maybe it's a tightness in your chest, a weight on your shoulders, or that tired ache behind your eyes that doesn't go away no matter how much you sleep. It doesn't always make sense. Sometimes everything seems just fine, and yet you still feel low. Not quite yourself. A little sad, a little anxious, a little lost. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. So many women, especially those of us who've lived a lot of life, raised children, lost people we love, gone through health scares or financial worries, carry stress and sadness like old coats we never meant to keep wearing. And yet we do. Sometimes we even think it's normal. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's right. And just because you've felt this way before doesn't mean you have to keep feeling that way now. Today we're going to talk about something deeply important: how to never be stressed or depressed again. And yes, I said never. Because while we may not be able to stop life from bringing us storms, we absolutely can learn how to walk through them with calm, courage, and a clear mind. This isn't about pretending things don't hurt. It's about learning how to stop letting those hurts define us. And more than that, it's about finding peace that can't be shaken. Let's start with this. You are not broken. Nothing about what you've been through makes you weak. In fact, the very fact that you're here, watching this, listening, and searching for healing, that makes you powerful. But we're going to help you feel it, live it, breathe it, and never let go of it again. There's an image I'd like you to hold on to for a moment. Picture a woman walking through a storm. The wind is whipping her hair around. Rain stings her face. The clouds are dark, thunder rolls. But she's walking forward, not running, not panicking, just steady, calm, clear. She doesn't curse the storm. She doesn't try to fight it. She doesn't ask why the sky is angry or why the sun isn't out today. She simply walks. And she knows deep in her bones that this storm will pass, just like all the others before it. That woman can be you, not someday. Today. You see, the secret is this: stress and sadness don't come from what happens to us. They come from how we see what happens to us. It's not the storm outside that breaks us. It's the storm inside. It's the voice in your head that says, "This is too much," or "I can't handle this," or worse, "I'm alone." But here's the truth. You are never powerless unless you hand your power away. And you can always take it back. The first step is realizing what's in your control and what's not. You can't change the past. You can't control what other people do or say. You can't make the world fair or kind or predictable. But you can always control your own mind, your own heart, and how you choose to show up. When you stop trying to fight what you cannot change, something incredible happens. A silence enters your soul. A calm that was always there, just waiting for you to stop pushing against the waves. That calm is peace. And peace isn't about everything being perfect. It's about being unshaken, even when nothing is perfect. Let me ask you something. How often do you worry about things that are out of your hands? Maybe it's what your adult children are doing. Maybe it's the state of the world. Maybe it's regrets from years ago. These thoughts steal your peace, don't they? They take root in your chest and grow like weeds. But here's the good news. You can pull those weeds out, one by one, thought by thought. Start with this simple question. Can I control this? If the answer is no, let it go. Gently, like setting down a heavy bag you've carried for too long. You don't need to carry pain that doesn't belong to you anymore. You don't need to keep watering thoughts that only grow sorrow. And that brings me to the next step. learning to want less. This may sound strange, but the more we need things to be a certain way, the more we suffer. We think we need people to act a certain way, or for our plans to work out, or for life to match some picture we had in our heads. But what if you needed less? What if you could be content without conditions? When you no longer need everything around you to be just right, stress loses its grip. That doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the grip of needing. Wanting love is human. But needing someone to behave a certain way just so you can feel okay, that's a prison. And you deserve to be free. Freedom isn't about money or success or being busy all the time. It's about being able to say, I am okay as I am, with what I have, even if nothing else changes. Some of the wisest people I've ever met had very little, but they laughed easily, loved deeply, and slept well at night. They weren't chasing the next thing. They weren't measuring their worth by what others thought. And they certainly weren't waiting for life to finally be perfect so they could be happy. They chose happiness right where they were. It starts with simplifying. Maybe it's your schedule. Maybe it's your home. Maybe it's your mind. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Or have I just been told that I do? Sometimes, less truly is more. Less clutter, less worry, less noise, more peace, more space, more breathing room. Now I want to talk about something we often avoid: discomfort. We all like comfort, don't we? A warm blanket, a favorite chair, a routine that feels familiar. But here's the trap. When we get too comfortable, we stop growing. And when we stop growing, we start shrinking. Discomfort, believe it or not, is not your enemy. It's your guide. Every time you've gotten stronger in life, it's because you went through something hard. You know that. You've lived it. The strongest version of you didn't come from easy days. It came from storms you walked through and didn't let break you. So don't fear discomfort. Embrace it like an old friend. When life challenges you, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Every setback, every delay, every difficult conversation, it's shaping you, making you sharper, wiser, kinder. You are not too old to grow, not too old to heal, not too old to change. In fact, this chapter of life, this golden, beautiful season, might just be the one where you finally let go of everything that was weighing you down and rise into the woman you were always meant to be. You've already done the hard work. You've raised families, built homes, faced losses. Now it's time to take care of you, to be gentle with your heart, to be firm with your boundaries, and to be proud of the strength that lives in your spirit. You've earned your peace. Now let's help you claim it and keep it. There's something powerful that happens when you start to let go. Not just of things, but of expectations, old stories, and the pressure to always hold it all together. You begin to breathe differently. You feel lighter, clearer, almost like your shoulders have finally dropped after years of being held tight. So many of us have spent a lifetime holding on to pain from the past, holding on to the idea that we have to be strong for everyone else, holding on to control, even when control was never truly ours. But the truth is, real strength often looks like surrender. Not giving up, but letting go of the things that no longer serve us. Imagine carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. You've had it for decades. Inside are memories, mistakes, regrets, and worries. You've grown so used to its weight, you barely notice it anymore. But what if, right now, you could set that bag down? What if you could take a deep breath and decide, I don't need to carry this anymore? Letting go isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's trusting that you are safe without holding so tightly, that you are allowed to release what hurt you without forgetting the lessons it taught you. And most importantly, that peace isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. When you stop gripping so hard, life begins to meet you where you are. You open up space for joy, for healing, for deeper connection with the people who truly matter. Now, I know it's not easy. Letting go takes practice. It might mean forgiving someone who never said they were sorry, or releasing guilt for something that happened long ago. It might mean finally saying, "This is not mine to fix," and walking away from the weight of other people's choices. But every time you let go, you take back a piece of your power. And that power is exactly what you need to see the next truth. Hardship is not the enemy. Most of us grow up thinking pain is a punishment. If we're hurting, something must be wrong, or someone must be to blame. But the older I get, the more I see that struggle is actually a teacher, one of the best we'll ever have. Hardship isn't there to crush you. It's there to craft you. Think back to the hardest times in your life. Maybe it was the loss of a loved one. Maybe it was divorce, illness, betrayal, financial fear. Whatever it was, I'd be willing to bet that it changed you. Not just on the outside, but inside. It sharpened your intuition. It revealed who your real friends were. It taught you how to pray, how to ask for help, or how to be brave even when you felt like breaking. Hardship is a forge. It burns away what doesn't belong. It strengthens what does. And if you're willing to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" you'll start to see your life through new eyes. Suddenly, every setback becomes a setup. Every rejection is redirection. Every loss has something to give you if you're willing to receive it. That mindset shift, that moment when you stop being the victim of your circumstances and start being the student of your life, is where true freedom begins. And don't worry, you don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay open. Open to the idea that what hurt you can also heal you. That the very thing that made you cry last year could be the reason you smile with wisdom this year. One of the most beautiful things about this season of life, this chapter after 60, is that we finally get to decide how we want to carry our story. We can't change what's been written, but we can change the meaning we give it. We can look at our scars and say, "These made me wiser. These made me gentler. These made me stronger." And speaking of strength, let's talk about what it really means to be strong. Some people think strength is about doing it all on your own. But I believe real strength is being honest, saying, "Today I'm not okay," and still showing up. Real strength is not about pretending. It's about presence. It's about staying soft even when the world tries to harden you. And here's something you need to hear. There is nothing weak about resting, about taking care of your mental health, about saying no to people or situations that drain you. That is strength in action. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to have boundaries, even with people you love. You are allowed to choose stillness over chaos, because peace isn't a luxury. It's a necessity, especially now. Let's take a moment together, right now. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in and out. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your heart slow down. That's yours. That breath. That peace. No one can take it from you unless you give it away. You deserve to feel light again. You deserve to laugh without guilt, to rest without apology, to wake up without dread. You deserve mornings that feel hopeful, not heavy. And if no one's told you that in a while, let me be the one to say it clearly. Your best years aren't behind you. They're still unfolding, one peaceful day at a time. Let go of the idea that stress and sadness are just part of aging. They're not. What's part of aging is wisdom. What's part of aging is knowing what really matters and being brave enough to choose it. And what matters most isn't what other people think. It's not how busy you are, how many holidays you host, or how perfectly you hold it all together. What matters is how you feel when you sit with yourself in the quiet. Do you feel peace or pressure? If it's pressure, it's time to shift. Not because you've failed, but because you're ready for more ease, more joy, more space to be who you truly are without all the noise. You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Let this be the season where you take care of yourself. Your heart, your thoughts, your joy. No guilt, no shame, just love. The same love you've poured into everyone else, now finally flowing back to you. You are not too late. You are right on time. There's a quiet strength in you that's been there all along, maybe buried under years of obligations, heartbreak, or doing what everyone else needed you to do. But now, more than ever, it's time for that strength to rise. Not the kind that makes you force a smile when you're hurting, or push through exhaustion because no one else will. No, I'm talking about the kind of strength that comes from peace, from knowing who you are, from choosing yourself finally after all these years. And one of the most powerful choices you can make is this. Stop making your peace depend on things you cannot control. When we tie our happiness to how other people act, or to everything going smoothly, we hand our emotional well-being over to the wind. And let's be honest, the wind changes constantly. But when you start saying, I choose peace no matter what, that's when life begins to shift. Someone doesn't call you back, you're still okay. Plans change, you adjust. A doctor gives you news you didn't want. You take a breath and ask, what now? Instead of, why me? It doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you don't let pain take the wheel. You've lived enough life to know that joy and sorrow often walk hand in hand. And the truth is, if you've felt deep sadness, it's only because your heart has loved deeply. And that is something to be proud of, not ashamed of. Your tears are not weakness. They are evidence of how much you care, how much you've given, and how bravely you've lived. But here's the key. Feel what you feel, and then let it pass through you. Don't cling. Don't let old grief build a nest in your spirit. Let it wash over you, teach you, and move on. Just like the seasons. Just like the tide. It's time to become your own safe place. That means speaking kindly to yourself. No more harsh inner critics. No more replaying old mistakes like broken records. If you wouldn't say it to a dear friend, don't say it to yourself. You deserve compassion too, especially from you. It also means creating an environment that supports your peace. Maybe that's a clean, cozy space where you can breathe. Maybe it's less time around people who drain you. Maybe it's a morning walk with soft music in your ears instead of scrolling through stressful news. You get to choose what you let into your world. And one of the best things you can invite into your life is silence, stillness, time alone. Not to feel lonely, but to reconnect with yourself. We often fear being alone because we think it means we're forgotten. But solitude is not abandonment. It's sacred. It's where you hear your soul again. It's where your heart speaks without interruption. If you've been busy your whole life, raising children, running a household, working hard, it might feel unfamiliar at first, but stay with it. Let yourself be still. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your body soften. This is how healing begins. Not in noise, but in quiet. Another truth I want you to remember is this: comparison is a thief. It steals your joy without you even realizing it. So stop comparing your life to anyone else's. Not your neighbors. Not your sisters. Not some woman you see online with her perfect hair and perfect kitchen. What you see is never the whole story. Your journey is your own. And there is no prize for suffering silently or pretending everything's perfect. The real prize is freedom. The real win is waking up each day with a heart that feels lighter than the day before. So give yourself permission to release the pressure. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to fix everyone. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be present, be honest, and be kind. To others, yes, but especially to yourself. And if a wave of sadness does come, don't panic. Don't think it means you're broken. It's just a wave. And waves pass. Let it rise, feel it fully, and then let it go. Don't fight it. Fighting sadness gives it more power. Allowing it to pass gives you the power. Remember, peace is not the absence of trouble. It's your ability to remain calm in the middle of it. You've already survived so much. You've loved, lost, started over. You've said goodbye when you weren't ready and kept going even when you were tired. You've shown up for others time and time again. Now it's time to show up for yourself. That might mean finally resting without guilt. It might mean forgiving someone, not for them, but for you. It might mean letting go of the idea that life should have turned out differently. You're here now, and now is where your power lives. No matter your age, no matter your past, peace is still possible. Joy is still possible. Healing is still possible. And most of all, freedom is possible. Freedom from the thoughts that keep you up at night. Freedom from old pain you've carried too long. Freedom from the fear that you're running out of time. You're not running out. You're just beginning a new chapter. And if no one else has told you lately, you're doing better than you think. You are stronger than you know. And you are absolutely worthy of a life that feels good on the inside, not just looks okay on the outside. So take a deep breath. Smile, even if just a little. Say thank you. To yourself, to this moment, to the journey that brought you here. You're not just surviving anymore. You're choosing to live. And if this message has touched your heart, I hope you'll share it with someone else who needs it. Maybe a sister, a friend, a neighbor, someone silently carrying a burden who just needs to hear, you're not alone. And if you haven't yet, please click that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Strong Elderly Life. This is a place where you are seen, supported, and celebrated, exactly as you are. Let's keep walking this path together, with grace, with courage, with peace. Here's to living your best life at any age.